Hi Capricorns, welcome to your September 2019 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those who have liked, shared, subscribed, donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And regarding personal readings, I'm not going to be offering them this month. I might start up again by the time I post the October readings. If that's the case, I'll definitely let you guys know in the beginning of that video. But yeah, just, I have a lot going on right now, so don't really think I can focus on the personal readings. And also, as far as the love readings go, I'll probably have those up by Labor Day, I would say. So keep an eye out for that. Just wanted to give you a heads up there, too, in case you guys start to wonder where those are. All right, but let's get into your main spread. We have a 10-card Celtic cross as always. A couple extra cards came up. And then we have some oracle cards to get to and a mudra card. So getting started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Death card. So, for a very small percentage of you, this can actually be related to an actual death. If that's the case, though, before you panic, this is one that I largely feel already happened. So, for those of you, if this does resonate in a physical sense of a death, I really think it's something that already happened, and now maybe it's a matter of, maybe looking at the will for potential inheritances and whatnot. And I'll get to why I think that's the case when we get to those cards that make me think that. But for now, to just focus on this card on a more surface level, this can point to the end of a friendship for some of you, just because for you guys, Scorpio is your 11th house, and that's the house of friendships. So, you might have had a friendship come to an end recently. And for others of you, this can actually be related to something that ended during the time of Leo. Technically, I'm recording this on the 17th of August, so we're still in the time of Leo. But given that this is a reading for September, this could just be saying that if it already hasn't happened in the time of Leo, we still have a little time left. But, I get the feeling that this could have been something that ended during the time of Leo. It's most likely something that had been pretty long-standing, so it could have been a job, for example, maybe schooling, maybe you guys were in school, because now there's going to be a lot of energy moving into your 9th house, so there could have been a completion there, since we do see the World card. So, for example, maybe you were close to graduating, but maybe you had to take a couple of summer courses to officially finish. Right now, here you are, maybe you're done. Doesn't have to be a negative energy at all, especially given that for you guys anyway, Scorpio energy is the 11th house. And then if this is pointing to the 8th house is Leo, so that's a fairly positive planet placement as well, rather, for the 8th house. So not really seeing that as a negative for most of you, but yes, it can represent an ending of some kind. And the only way I view it as more of a negative is maybe you had an ending with a friendship, maybe a romantic relationship for a small percentage of you. The challenger obstacle position, we have the Hermit card. So with the Hermit coming up in this position, this can just be pointing to timelines. So like I was saying, if this was something that happened in the time of Leo, this could just be saying that now as we move into Virgo season, you might really be going inward to reflect on it, like, okay, well, what caused this ending, right? Like if it was an ending of a friendship, might be like, all right, well, what exactly happened? Who played what role, right? Maybe seeing if you even would want to repair the connection or not, or who was at fault, all that stuff. And maybe just looking at it from a different angle as well, because for you guys, the Hermit, Virgo is your 9th house. So that could be, looking at things from a different perspective, seeing it from a higher level. So that could be what's going on there. And then for some of you, like I said, if this is an actual death that took place in the family or something along those lines, or just anyone you were somewhat close to that might have left you something in the will, maybe that's what's going on now. You guys are looking over that. If it was an actual death, I'm sorry for your loss, though. So that's what I see going on there. And, for some of you, I could even see this as some of you could actually have been retiring, for example. That could be a way it's playing out too, given that we have the World card. And, that would be the long-standing part of it, right? Oh, the Death card, it's something you did for so long. And now the challenge or obstacle might be like, okay, well, now what am I going to do to fill my day? You know, like I worked for so long, I'm retired now, but how am I going to fill the time, right? So that could be what's going on there for some of you. In the foundation position, we have the World card and the Five of Wands. So on the one hand, this can say that this actually points to the end of conflict. With the world, you know, the world being a symbol of completion, this is actually a card that points to Saturn energy for me as well. And Saturn obviously is your ruler and it's in your sign. And I also personally see this as North Node energy as well, which is Cancer. So maybe there's been some conflict in a romantic relationship, for example, and maybe that's what's coming to an end. You know, maybe you guys are actually putting that behind you this month. Even if not getting back with the person, you know, maybe you guys get on better terms, for example, but maybe you come to an understanding about what it was all around, right? Because, I mean, you know, let's face it, you guys had the eclipses on your axis, and then we were dealing with retrogrades and everything, so, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if some things might have taken place in that regard as far as conflict goes, and this is an energy that can point to that. Like I said, for some of you, this is actually just flat out, especially the Hermit to me, sometimes points to that higher education vibe too. So this, some of you, this can just be as simple as you've graduated. And it was a competitive, you know, field that you're going into. Maybe that's what's going on there. So for the most part, though, I think that for the majority of you, this is a positive, whether it's the ending of conflicts that you've been having, or okay, you know, you were in some competitive field, maybe you were trying to get some kind of a promotion even in your job and could have been competitive, but it looks like it worked out in your favor for most of you if that's the case. In the past position, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini. So, you know, this can point to something involving the workplace and routines in that regard, and maybe even that, you know, since Virgo's the natural ruler of the sixth house too, that could be another indicator that maybe something came to an end in your work life. And this can't even just say that maybe in the past there was a relationship, or could even possibly be letting me know that that ending took place in the time of Gemini. But given that this is in the upright, I feel like this was overall positive as well. Maybe this was saying that during the time of Gemini, things seemed fine, and maybe it seemed like all of a sudden things went off the rails, and maybe that's why you're, you know, really going inward to reflect on what exactly was taking place there. In the present position, we have the Queen of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Page of Wands. So the main thing that I'm thinking about here is that this can represent, for those of you, if this is a workplace thing, actually getting a promotion of some kind, because like I was saying, you know, could have been something you were working towards, you know, really slaving away at it, and now you get that world completion, because the Queen of Swords is a Libra energy, and that's actually your 10th house of career, and then Libra energy is about balance and fairness as well. And on top of that, I'm looking at what she's pointing to, right? If we look at her, she's looking right at the 10, in case you guys can't see it, the 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So this could just be talking about, you know, them saying that they see the work that you've put in, right? If this is something that you've been working really hard on. They see the work that you've put in, right? Maybe they're reviewing it, right? So maybe you might feel like you're stuck right now, like, okay, are they going to give me, you know, am I going to get the promotion, for example? Or maybe if it was a school thing, like I said, you feel like maybe there's a hang up there, like they're not letting you know, did you pass the class, did you not pass the class, right? So that could be what the Hanged Man energy is about. And then the Page of Wands, why that stands out to me is it's a positive, is because I'm thinking about the fact that, first of all, you could see the 10 of Wands, right? It looks like obviously this person's carrying a lot, quite literally, and you know, this could just be saying really working hard. And then the Page is basically the next card in line after the 10, and obviously he looks like he's doing a lot better, right? He just has the one wand, he's leveled up. So that's what I'm seeing there, you know, that someone here is looking at the work that you've put in. They're making a decision that, you know, Okay, we agree that this person's put in the work, and then you get elevated in some way, even if it's not a huge thing, but it does seem like it's positive progress. Um, I do have to mention, and again, maybe this comes down to a will, right? If, for those of you, if you did have someone pass away, this could be someone looking at the will and saying, it could be around a Pisces. This is usually a Pisces energy for me, or Gemini, because Pisces is your third house, and we do see two Gemini energies there if you think of it that way. But either way, it looks like it's saying that, you actually would get something from that. And if this is something also in the legal system, maybe there's some kind of a legal battle that you guys have been fighting, because we do see the Libra and Justice energy again in the environment position. This could just be saying that that's coming to an end this month as well. Maybe the term hang jury comes to my mind. Maybe there was some kind of a hang up behind it, and now you actually get some forward movement again this month. In the near future position, we have the Six of Wands, and we have the Five of Cups. So I would say that, to me, this is normally a card of victory. So on the one hand, this can just represent, like, let's say, even if this was a divorce you were going through, right? Put it that way. Like, they might favor, they might put out a verdict in your favor regarding that if you guys went to court for that. But at the same time, there might still be disappointment, right? You're like, all right, well, on the one hand, I'm happy that it's over. I'm happy that they saw that, I was in the right in whatever the situation may be. But at the same time, I'm disappointed that things didn't work out, right? No one goes into a marriage like, ooh, I hope this fails. So that could be what's at play there. And this could represent the energy of two people, with the Queen of Swords there, saying that one person walks away feeling like this, the other person walks away feeling like that, right? You could see the clear contrast in the energies. So what I will say is, if you guys are a little stressed and really trying to reflect and figure out what's going on, what I do see more than anything, whether this represents another person in the environment position or just the energies at play that are going to play out this month, seeing the Queen of Swords in the present, pointing at that, and then also the Justice card in the environment shows me that justice will play out. So if you know deep down that, you were in the right here, whatever it's around, if there's some kind of issue with your employer where maybe there was some kind of back pay that you're owed, or, you applied for some promotion, trying to get a raise, whatever the case may be, it looks like it will work out in your favor if you know that you were in the right. But if this is, more of a one-on-one situation where, you guys are in divorce court, or maybe even going to court with other family members over an inheritance, hopefully that's not the case. But, if you know that you're in the right, just, this would most likely be your energy. So there's that. Now, what's interesting in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is freeing yourself from a stuck energy. So again, like I said there, I do see that this could point to you maybe being in your head, maybe replaying something over and over, right? And maybe feeling burdened over something. But it looks like that's going to ease up this month with the Eight of Swords now being in reverse. So it could be directly related to that situation that I was talking about, or this might even be, if it was more like something I said, more small scale, where maybe I had a falling out with a friend, for example. Maybe this is actually you, trying to decide, okay, well, should I reach out to actually restore the balance, right? Maybe you've been on the fence about it with that hanged man energy, and then you actually decide, you know what, I'm going to move forward and do it. So maybe that's what's going on there, right? So meaning that if you knew you were in the wrong, then you would actually come out and say, you know what, let me extend the olive branch to this person, in which case you would say justice is served in that regard, right? That, okay, you actually balance the scales, let them know, hey, I apologize, whatever it was about. And it looks like you will be fairly well received. It looks like this person's interested in fairness, if nothing else, if it does represent another person. meaning that, yeah, they might hold out on you if you haven't apologized to this point, but if you do approach them to apologize and try to right the, you know, fix the and balance the scales, they will actually be receptive to that. So, something to keep in mind there. And again, with this representing your 10th house too, this could totally be related to career. And like I said, this represents balance and fairness. So if you have been putting in the work, right, if you went back to school to get a higher degree, or you applied for a raise, or you know went took some course to get some kind of a certification, it looks like it will pay off for you this month. And as far as the timeline, this could just be saying that it might take place towards the end of September when the sun moves into Libra. That could be what that's pointing to as well. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to assume that for most of you, this is probably a hope. And this could just be saying that, you know, you want to get back to work. You want to go back to building, right? Like if there was some kind of a legal battle, for example, that could be draining both mentally and actual, tangible, physical drainage on your resources, right, as far as financially. So maybe this is saying with that Eight of Swords in reverse, you're like hoping to get your finances rebalanced as well. I do find it interesting that we have two 8 energies and they're like a mirror to each other in a way with the Justice in the middle. This is obviously a positive energy that it's in the reverse, so that could be what's going on there. You know, you just want to get back to work and just moving forward. Your ruler is going to be going direct this month as well, so you know that should help as well as far as karmically. And then Jupiter is going direct as well, which can help karmically. And it was in your 12th house too. So any placement in your 12th house could have you stuck in your head about something. And then make it Jupiter vaultings, which is about expansion. People always think of it as just a lucky planet, but it expands as well. So, you know, it could also just lead to you expanding that energy of being stuck in your head. And maybe now that's saying with Jupiter now moving forward, you're coming out of that hanged man energy, that hermit energy, and actually moving forward again, right? That Eight of Swords reverse, you're moving forward. So like I said, whether it's an ending that already happened or now it's being resolved this month, whatever the case may be, I do see forward movement. And I think it was maybe last month or the month before, I had an energy of you guys, you know, being a bit stuck in your head as well. So for those of you, if it's still carried over, the good news is it looks like it will clear up pretty well this month. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. Well, I'll put in the upright while we talk about it. So in the upright, this is one of those things where, especially when I see it with the Three of Swords in the same spread, which we don't have that, but I'll just say that what I usually point out is, to me, that represents those three swords that are in the heart, right? And it usually represents someone who thinks that they're healed, or, you know, they're in denial about needing to heal, and then as a result of that, they can end up causing harm to others because, you know, in their mind, they think, oh, no, I'm over that. I'm totally over that. But if that wound isn't dealt with, you know, it might manifest in abrupt ways where you feel like something might trigger you. You might think, oh, this is going to be that situation again. And you might get overly defensive and end up, you know, attacking. Not literally, obviously, but I'm just saying. And then I also say with this as well, why would you need three swords to fight, right? Maybe you could say two justifiably could help in some situations, right? But what are you going to do with three? You know, it's just going to make it harder for you to win any battle. So regardless of what that is, having this in reverse is obviously a way better energy, saying that, you know, there's an ending to conflict. So like I said, whether it's you repair a connection with a friend or maybe even a romantic interest, you know, that maybe you guys had a falling out, and maybe the world is just saying that it needed to happen. You know, sometimes it does take a conflict in order to repair things because it's just like trapped energy, you know, and if you don't let it out in a healthy way, it might come out in an unhealthy way. But then you're forced with no other choice but to approach it in a healthy way to fix it, right? It's like, all right, well, now it's broken. Now I have to fix it. I have to approach this from a, you know, more logical, fair manner, right? So maybe that's what it was. It was some kind of outburst with all the retrogrades. If that's the case, not a surprise. Plenty of people went through stuff like that, I'm sure. So either way, like I said, it's a little, looks like there was some tough energies at one point, but it looks like they will be clearing up for you. So that's definitely the good part. All right, we'll move on to your oracle cards. The first one we have is Deep Knowing. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 43. All right, it says intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. So before we even read any further, I would say intuition, like I was saying, having Jupiter in the 12th, it was retrograde for a while, so maybe now that it's going forward again, it might actually help you as far as your intuition and help you let some of these things go. It says intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% true and correct. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into this sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So pretty good message there. Like I said, maybe it is that little break that you did take with the hermit energy and then the hanged man that helps you see things from a different perspective. Your intuition guides you, and then you're able to free yourself from that Eight of Swords blockage, right? And maybe end any conflicts that you might have been having. So overall, definitely a positive energy there. The relationship message says there are occasions when you just know, deep in your heart and soul, that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So that was interesting there too, because that could be saying that, let's say there was an ending to a relationship, right? And maybe you have just been really, down and out about it. This could just represent the justice card here, saying that, hey, karmically, you're going to get justice by someone new coming into your life that does value you, right? So maybe this could even be saying that in the past, you might have been with someone who you were putting in all this work and they never acknowledged it. They never, appreciated it. And then with this Queen of Swords, could be a Libra, could be anyone, but, could possibly be a Libra since we see two Libra energies. This could just be saying that this person actually does recognize and acknowledge the work that you put in, right? And then, you're able to get that forward movement with the Page of Wands there. So maybe that's what that's pointing to. The prosperity message says this is a time when your hunches will pay large dividends if you listen to them, take the risk, and act. Within you there is an oracular consciousness, a higher and deeper knowing that transcends the machinations of the smaller thinking mind. At the deep level of your intuitive senses, you have an access point to the genius of the collective. The energies of all thinkers and creators, all inventors and leaders, and all that you need in order to leap into success are available to tune into. This is an act of listening intently. Past the busy mind, your genius awaits. So, definitely a pretty good message there. Like I said, a lot of things about intuition, and like I said, that could totally be tied to the fact that Jupiter is now moving direct in your 12th house as opposed to when it's been retrograde, and you might have felt a little blocked in that area. All right, and then the oracle card you guys got from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck is Ant Spirit. It says time to collaborate. There's the artwork for it, and it's number 1. Actually, I don't think I ever got this card, so interested to see what this says. All right. It says, when Ant Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message and Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it, whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you. Everything is working to support you right now. So definitely a pretty cool message there, especially with the justice card and the environment. That could just be what it's saying. You know, whatever support you need to help balance things out, it's there for you. And like it was mentioning the depression, maybe that's what the death is about. You know, saying that it's actually getting over a feeling of depression, and maybe this Six of Wands over the Five of Cups is pointing to that as well. You know, saying that overcoming that depression and feeling stuck over something. So hopefully you guys got something from that. And then the last thing we have is a mudra card. So this is the mudra you guys got. And what mudras are is they're actually hand gestures that you hold while meditating. You know, you can hold them for, anywhere from 5 minutes to 30, 45. But if you don't normally meditate, 5 is fine. And the keyword for this one is ventilation. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how I would pronounce this, and I'm not even going to try. So that's the name of it right up there. If you guys know, more power to you. I don't know where to even begin with saying that, but I'll put the name in the description as well, so don't worry if you guys are interested in looking into it a bit more. But yeah, there's the info on it. So I'll hold this up for a second if you guys wanted to take a screenshot of it, or just pause it. And then I'm gonna have to move it up so you could see the rest, because it doesn't have all of the info in the frame there. So let me just do that. All right, but yeah, as you can see under benefits, it says clears the airways, opens the chest, and improves elasticity of the rib cage, facilitating ease of breathing, strengthens the immune system, specifically reducing susceptibility to lung-related complaints, helps the processing of grief and sadness, helps lift the heaviness of depression. Wow, so there you go. There's another thing pointing to, if you guys are experiencing depression, it's possible. There's definitely, obviously, some tough transits going on for you guys. Hopefully this will be helpful for you. And like I said, I'll put the name of that in the description. I did not want to even attempt to say that and butcher it. But sounds like it could be helpful for those of you who are feeling a bit down. And like I said, it looks like there's definitely supportive energy around you. So, don't be shy about taking advantage of that. All right, so we'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. Bye.